Hi guys, welcome back to my Football Manager 2019 experiment. As you can see from the title, we'll focus on RSC Anderlecht. What if they keep their best players? So as you may have known that Anderlecht produce some of world-class talent from its academy. So we will get these players back to Anderlecht and fight for the European competition. Also, there are some players that made their name here although they are not an academy product of RC Anderlecht. So let's have a look at these players. So I have taken some players in such as Lucas Teodosky, he's playing as a striker, and this is probably the most famous one, Romelu Lukaku. So I get him back from Manchester United and he's currently valued 25 millions and he's only 25 years old, so we really hope on this player for 5 seasons max to make sure Anderlecht can survive in the European competition. With him, it's Jordan Lukaku, his younger brother. We also took Steven Defour from Burnley, and then Youri Tielemans from Monaco, and he's only 21 years old, so he's actually a very bright young talent has ever been produced by Anderlecht. So most of his career is in Anderlecht. And then Chiku Kuyate, the player who plays at West Ham, he plays a lot of games while at Anderlecht. And then Lucas Biglia, who is from AC Milan, was actually playing for Anderlecht for 7 seasons before. So now he's back. He's in his top form. So we hope that he can also produce the magic for this team for this experiment. And then we have Chancel Mbemba to rock our defense. We have Sylvia Proto, a veteran goalkeeper, and we have the younger goalkeeper Miles Villar, who was tipped as a wonder kid before. So we hope he can grow up to become a very top goalkeeper while in this experiment. So you might have noticed about this guy, Adnan Januzaj. He was actually a product of Anderlecht Academy. So, although he plays a lot of his football in Manchester United, but he is eligible to play for Anderlecht in this experiment. So he will provide width for our team. Other names such as Alexander Mitrovic, who has played 2 seasons in Belgium before his big money move to Newcastle. So this is his breakthrough season. So now he's back. He will provide a backup for our striker Romelu Lukaku. And then Dennis Praet, who is currently playing for Sampdoria. He was playing for our team Anderlecht for 7 seasons, I believe. So, from the looks of it, we'll have a very strong squad. And for this season, the first season, we'll be playing in the Euro Cup for the continental competitions. And our target is to win the Champions League. So we will set a 5 years experiment, and we hope within that 5 years we can at least go to the final of Champions League. But in this first season, I will really hope that we really can win this Euro Cup competition, as I think we have a very strong team. Oh, I forgot to mention that we also have Vincent Kompany back in the team. He started his career at Anderlecht for the 6 years, 6 seasons before he moved to Germany and eventually become a legend in Man City. So our defense is quite strong also as our striker, and we have a lot of central midfielders in this team. So we will now forward this to um, 5 years, and we'll see whether we can reach our target goal in reaching the Champions League final. We have now jumped 5 years ahead, so let's have a look in the first season in the year 2018 and 19. So we started off the league by a league loss against Eupen, and then there's a winless streak over there, 3 games before we started winning against Oostende 2-0. And then, as we mentioned earlier, we will focus on the European competition. So this first season we will represent in the Euro Cup. So we beat Krasnodar from Russia 1-0 in the first game, a Belgium Cup victory over there. And then we drew against AEK 2-all before another draw against Burnley at home. We draw against Burnley again, this time away 1-all before losing against Krasnodar 1-0. We advanced in the Belgium Cup 7th round before a win against AEK 2-1 thanks to Dennis Fred and Romelu Lukaku. So we are through in the Belgium Cup quarterfinal by 2-0 win, and then we played against Club Brugge. We drew 0-0 the semi-final first leg before beating them away 1-0 thanks to Adnan Januzaj in the 108th minute. So it's very tight games against Club Brugge. So in the first season we were through to the final of Belgian Cup. So as the league we managed to draw over there, and then we won 1-0 thanks to Romelu Lukaku scoring against one of his former team the first stage. But unfortunately we were beaten heavily in the second leg, with Eden Hazard, the fellow Belgian, scoring a hat-trick against this Belgium club. So it was unfortunate we lost in the first knockout round in this first season. So we'll just focus on the league, where we won a few games there. Another loss against Club Brugge 3-1. And then in the Pro League Championship group, the top half of the team will play against each other. We doesn't look very good. We only won a few games and lost, and a winless streak in May, where we drew, lost, and 4 games we lost in the final stages. Although we managed to win our first cup in this experiment, we won the Belgium Cup. So in the first season we won 1 cup. So let's focus on the next season. Hopefully we can do better than the first season. So in the year 2019-20, the second season, we already grabbed our second cup, which is Belgian Super Cup. So by beating Club Brugge in the penalty shootout. So as the league, we look quite okay in the first few games. We struggle against this side in the extra time, the Belgium Cup, and then we lost the game. And if you can see, we don't have any European competition. So I guess in the first season we did not win the league, but I'm quite surprised that we won a cup, but we did not represent any of the European competition for the Belgian side. So it's quite unfortunate for Anderlecht here. But let's just move on. Once again, we are doing quite well in the Belgium Cup. Can we defend the title this season? So we won in the semi-final 3-1. First leg, we won few games 2-0, drew, and we lost 3-0 away in the second leg. So we lost 4-3 in the aggregate. So we were eliminated in the second season in the semi-final of the Belgium Cup. So we only hope for the league. Hopefully we can do better. I think from the looks of it, we're doing quite well until these two games. We really draw against Antwerp and lost at home again against Club Brugge 3-0. They were so dominant even with our players like such as Romelu Lukaku, Januzaj, Vincent Kompany. We could not handle Club Brugge in the domestic league. And then we won back to back before losing another two games against Club Brugge again. This time 2-1. Romelu Lukaku scored in the 49th minute, but this guy scored the winning goal in the 61st minute. I'm not sure the league position, but we will reveal that once we finish with this schedule. So that is actually only our second season. The third season, this time we have Champions League qualifying. So it's a good sign for our team. So at home, the first leg, we beat Sporting Lisboa 2-1, Romelu Lukaku scoring. And then away we won 2-0, Romelu Lukaku scoring twice again. So we qualified for the next stage in the playoff first leg where we drew against Dynamo Kiev away before winning 1-0. Fakmani Mahlambi scored in the 93rd minute to get us through to the group stage of the Champions League. And then we were in the group with Fiorentina. We lost the first game 1-0. And then we won against Borussia Dortmund 2-1. Dodi Lukebakio scoring twice to make our first victory in the Champions League in this experiment. But we were beaten easily at home against Liverpool 4-0 despite Naby Keita being sent off in the 30th minute. We lost again away 2-0 against Liverpool before getting a draw against Fiorentina 1-0. We were down the first minute. Giovanni Simeone scored the penalty before Leander Dendocker scoring in the 60th minute to save a point for our team. And then we played our final game against Borussia Dortmund 4-0. Paco Alcacer scoring hat-trick against us. So I believe we were eliminated in the group, and I think we are in the bottom of this group. So we will not play in the Euro Cup, I believe. But despite that, let's just continue. We have another good run in the Belgium Cup. So we won the quarterfinal and then beating Ghent in the semi-final first leg. So let's not hope for another surprise. But yeah, we did manage to win in the second leg. So we are through to final this time. Can we repeat the success in the first season? But before that, in the league we have a lot of victories. It looks good this time around before losing against Standard 1-0 and then a draw against Gent 1-1, and then we play again with Gent 2-1, but this time in the Pro League Champions Group, the top half of the team. And once again, we are very poor at this stage. We lost 4 games and even lost against Club Brugge in the final. We were down as early as 7th minute. So we lost in the Belgium Cup in the final, and then in the league it doesn't look good also at the closing stage. This is the third season. We will see later what position Anderlecht managed this season. Now in the fourth season, we played in Super Cup again, and every time we play in the Super Cup, we will win, and we have a very good record in the Super Cup. So we beat Club Brugge in the penalty shootout again. Lukaku scoring in the 26th minute before being equalized in the 72nd minute. In the shootout, Youri Tielemans, Alexander Mitrovic, Romelu Lukaku scores. These are the players that we brought in the first place. In the league, we doesn't see a lot of reds, and until we play against Club Brugge. Another bad news. We lost 2-1, and if you can see, we don't have any European competition in this year. So once again, we missed out the European competition. These are the thing that we really look forward, but unfortunately we did not even manage to win the domestic leagues with these players. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this team. Maybe the management is not really good. I'm not sure, but let's have a look at this season. In this fourth season, so after the loss, we lost in the 7th round. So our good record in the Belgium Cup were diminished by Charleroi in this fourth season, and then another loss against Antwerp in the league. But after that, we have a lot of victories, and then surprise, a loss against Club Brugge. And then we have a lot of victories, also loss against Genk, lost victories, and then in this championship group, this time we did not lose many games. We only can see 2 losses against Surprise Brugge and then Standard, but we managed to beat them thanks to Romelu Lukaku and Youri Tielemans. So this fourth season I think it looks better in terms of league position. So we'll see in the next season first. So I think this is the 5th season. I'm not sure I'm gonna make this final season or not, but let's have a look. So we played against Zenit St. Petersburg in the qualifying. We drew at home 1-1 before eliminated away 2-0. So once again we missed out the Champions League. We thought in the early of this experiment with this squad we can win the Champions League, but we hardly even qualified. So I overestimated this team. So yeah, it's quite disappointing. But nevertheless, we played against Krasnodar again in the Euro Cup. We won 2-0, and then back-to-back against Krasnodar again, 1-0 victory away thanks to Alexander Mitrovic, who scores the first. Also, it's Chico Kuyate in the act there. Then we won 3-2 away against PAOK. None of our players scored there. I mean the players that we brought in. And then we won against Nice 1-0 at home thanks to Alexander Mitrovic again. But we lost against them in the reverse fixture 2-1 before winning against PAOK 2-0. So I think at this stage we might be top in the league, in the group L. So we will definitely qualify for the next stage, but just losing once and winning all five of the other games. In the Belgium Cup, once again we're doing good. We go through in the Belgium Cup quarterfinal. We won. The league seems very nice. Also, we have won a lot of games, and then in the Euro Cup first stage, first knockout round, we beat young boys from Switzerland thanks to Adnan Januzaj and Junior Abimala. And then uh, the Belgium Cup semi-final, we drew against Cercle Brugge at home. So can we turn this around away? We are very very good in the Belgium Cup, so hopefully we can do this better this season. And as you can see, we won away against Club Brugge 2-1, thanks to Leander Dendocker and Samuel Adegbenro. And as we said earlier, we managed to go to the final by beating Cercle Brugge away 3-0, thanks to Dennis Prey and Youri Tielemans. We won the league here. And we beat Club Brugge in the Euro Cup second round. So I'm not sure what's happening. We only played young boys once, and we qualified to the next stage, second round. Maybe there's a different regulation in the year 2023, but yeah, out of all places, we managed to beat Club Brugge away in the Euro Cup, thanks to Leander the Docker winner. So hopefully our jinx against this team ends by winning. We already won twice away against this team, so we managed to win again. And then, as usual, in the closing stage, we were in the Pro League Championship group, where we usually did not do well. We already lost against Eupen there, and in the Euro Cup quarterfinal first leg. So this game we have two legs. So let's have a look. The first leg we drew 0-0, and then surprise, surprise, in this stage again we lost against Club Brugge 2-1 at Januzaj. Although scoring the opener, we did not manage to keep the scoreline that way. And then in the quarterfinal second leg, we beat Fiorentina 3-1 thanks to Junior Abimala and Alexander Mitrovic. So we go through to the semi-final. So in the semi-final, we were drawn against a tough opponent, Arsenal, where we lost the first leg at home 3-1. Junior Abimala scored against this Arsenal side, where we actually were down 3-0 in the first half. Let's have a look in the second leg. Doesn't look good also. We were dumped in London, where we lost 2-1. Although Adnan Januzaj sparks our hopeful comeback, but it was never meant to be when Arsenal scored two second half goals. So that means this is the best result we had in this European competition. Call it semi-final in Euro Cup. So after 5 seasons, this is the only best finish we had in Europe. Later that season, we played in the final in the Belgian Cup, where we won for the second time in this series. So we won 3-0 against Kortrijk. Sorry for the mispronunciation, but I don't really know this club. But nevertheless, we won 3-0. So another year and another cup in Belgium Cup. So we finish off against Gent 2-1. Although before that we drew 2-2 against Club Brugge. So in the year 2018-19, we finished second, just below Club Brugge, and you're way off, 12 points, and we did not qualify for the European competition at all. And then second season we also finished second, Club Brugge winning it again. But this time it was just a little bit, so I think a few losses in the final few games in that season cost us the league title. In the third season, we thought that we did good. We really did it good. Um, we won the league finally after the third season, and eventual the past few winners, Club Brugge finished third. So this is the first league title we had so far, and in the fourth season we once again finished second behind Club Brugge. So Club Brugge has won it three times now in this experiment. And in the final season, once again, Club Brugge won it, so they have won it four times out of five. So although we have all these star-studded names such as from Lukaku, Vincent Kompany, Dennis Pride, Youri Tielemans, Leander, Dendocker, we could not even win the domestic league. So even that, how can we do well in European competition? So to me, this is actually a very disappointing experiment. We really thought that these players can bring Anderlecht um, to a very top spot in Europe with their caliber, but unfortunately they can't even win the domestic. So I've decided that this is enough for the 5 seasons. I think most of the players will still struggle to play in the future. Some will retire soon. So I hope you enjoy this experiment.